How's it going, everybody? Papa Wall Street back with another weekday review. It's Monday morning, so we're going to go through some of the names that are gapping up this morning. Normally, I build a watch list and then a focus list, but with the over weekend news that there may be some sort of trade resolution between China and the U.S., and that Xi and Trump may meet. We're obviously gapping up this morning, and that kind of puts a little bit of a wrench, not a big wrench, but a little bit of a wrench into my game plan for today. I much prefer gap down days than gap up days. With gap down days, you can always buy off of support, but with gap up days, I don't generally like to chase, especially in this market, because one tweet, one bit of news comes out, and that gap up turns into a reversal to the downside, and then you're kind of caught holding bags, and it's generally not the way I like to trade, especially in a market where breakout trades are failing. So let's just go through. I mean, you've got a bunch of names. I'm just going to spend maybe 30 seconds to a minute on each of these names and kind of come up with a little bit of a game plan for each. So first up is Open. Now this is all based off of my watch list that was built over the weekend, and I'm ordering these in the gap up percentage order, right? So right now, Open is the biggest gapper, and you can see we're over the swing high and a month to date anchored VWAP, but we're still below this high volume candle. Now this does look like a potential wave 3 completion and an ABC retracement. Potential wave 4 ending into a wave 5. And if this is a completed ABC, then what we'd want to see is a 1-2 setup in wave 5, right? So that might be like something like this, like a 1-2, and then we can buy off of the break off of, let's say, if it's a flag or a pennant or something along those lines, right? And then we buy the turn, and we set our stop under, maybe 766. So that's what I would be looking for on Open this week. Next one is Nibius. Now Nibius undercut 100 last week right here, right? This is a nice kind of shakeout candle before a V-shaped recovery. I like this off of 118.50. We're above all of the key anchored VWAPs. And I like, this kind of 3618 and 118. So it's 116.87 to 118.50. If we get a bit of a reversal back test here, that might be a good shot at buying for a target of 138 to the upside. SoFi is another one that, setting up pretty nicely. Now this also could be potentially a wave 4 here. What that might look like, let's see. It could be A, B, C, D, E, right? And this is your wave 4 triangle. And then what we would look for is potentially a 1-2 setup, for the upside. So I like this $30 mark, right? You see 2 tests at 30 here, rejection, very close test there, another rejection, another rejection. So 30 seems to be like a key pivot. Now, again, I wouldn't buy the break here. I would wait for maybe a little bit of a pullback, but we do have earnings this week. Looks like it might be tomorrow. So just be mindful of that. TTM Squeeze has already fired. Hood is another one, kind of a bull pennant breakout with a throwback. We talked about this one last week. So here's the breakout. Here's the back test. We closed the gap. We had a nice Fib cluster down here at 124.76 to 124.91. And also hit the swing low anchored VWAP here on the back test as well. So nice confluent area right here to buy off of on Wednesday, Thursday continuation, Friday continuation. Today, this morning, gap up. Low volume so far, but I think we could probably trade off this 137 to 140 range if we get a pullback into this level for a back test of the all-time highs at 152. All right, here's AMKR. This is Amcor. This is reporting tonight. I do have a position both in shares and options on this one. Squeeze already fired. So really, this is just waiting to see what happens on earnings. If we get a pullback down to this 30 to 31 mark, I think this is a pretty good area to add off of. Again, this could be looked at as a wave 4 triangle as well, potentially, right? So that pullback could be the area to buy before a final wave 5 push. Now, last week we talked about China stocks, and BABA looks pretty good here. Nice hammer candle this morning. We had that wedge breakout on Friday. It back tested the anchored VWAPs and bounced. That's going to be your swing high and your month to date. Look at how the swing low, which is also the high volume candle, came right in, pinched price into the anchored VWAP pinch, which, like I said, broke out on Friday. Hammer candle this morning. If we get over 181, we'll likely see a move up to like 190, 191, and then potentially a move up to 200. All right, here's PATH. So PATH broke